What's up, everyone? This is Minister Crush here, and I want to welcome you to my 365-day challenge. Today is day 81, and I want to ask you a question. The question I want to ask you is, why are you out of order? Why are you living your life out of order? Why, when things happen and things occur to you, or situations happen, your circumstances change, and then you react, and the way you react is out of order? See, God had a design, because God is a threefold, because God has God the Spirit, God the Son, and God the Father. Because God is three parts. And when he made us in three parts, because we were made in his image. All right, so the difference between us and everything else that he created, everything else he spoke into being. And he's spoken to bring and brought them forth. Us, he actually got down and physically made. He made us special and unique from everything else. And because he made us, he said, he didn't just speak into being, he said, let us make man in our image. And because we're made in the image of God, we are made three parts as well. And so, when he formed us, he formed our body from the dust of the ground. Inside of us, he gave us a soul. It's part 2. And then he breathed into us his spirit, part 3. So we're three parts made of one. So we have the soul, we have the spirit, we have the soul, and then we have the body. Each part has a different function. Each part is there for a certain reason. So the spirit is the part that we have that relates to God. The spirit that's in us is the part that helps us relate to God, because God is spirit. We have to have a spirit to relate to him, to speak to him, to talk to him, to interact with him. We have to have spirit within us. So he placed his spirit inside of us so that we have the spirit. And now that we can react with God, then we have our soul. Our soul is how we interact with ourselves and others. It's the part of us that has the reasoning capability. It's the part of us that thinks. It's the part of us that makes you who you are. It is the essence of who you are, is your soul. And it's because you have a soul, you interact with other people intellectually on a different level than just animals. Then you have the body. Your body is the part of you that interacts with the physical world. The physical world. So I can touch this, touch the table. I can, touch my beard, whatever the case may be. I can eat whatever. This is the part of your body this is the part of you that reacts to the world that is physical. I want to tell you something about these three parts. Each part, there's a hierarchy to each part. The spirit is the highest level of you. Is your spirit. It's the highest level. And it's the most real level. See, the thing about it is, we think that the physical world, the things that we touch, is the real world. No, these are just a manifestation of something on a spiritual level. So whatever's on the spiritual, it just manifests itself in the physical. And that's what it is. So the spiritual world is actually the real world. The world that should matter the most to you is the spiritual world. Because we want things tangible. We can touch. We can knock on. We can actually feel, taste, all the senses now. We think this is the real. This is the most important. Anyway. So the spirit is the highest level. The next highest level is the soul. It's how you interact intellectually. It's still on another level. Your mind, your creativity, all this stuff it's a higher plane of thinking. It's closer to the spiritual thinking, but it's higher. And then you have the physical, your body. That's the base level. That's the base foundational level. It's the lowest level. But unfortunately for many of us, we think that this is the highest level. This is the highest level, and we treat it like the highest level. God had designed it that your spirit leads your soul, and your soul guides your body. You are supposed to be led by the spirit, and then your body is supposed to fall in line under your soul, which is led by the spirit. But because you are out of order, because we tend to function so much out of order, we have it flipped upside down on its head. We got the body acting as if it's the highest level. And our soul takes lead from our body because our desires and pleasure and the fact that we want to avoid pain, the fact that our emotions and our feelings, which are reactionary to the things that are going on in our lives, have become the highest level we function at. And so our body leads our soul, and our soul doesn't operate in our spirit. Our spirit becomes the weakest part of us. And I know when you first become a Christian, that's usually how it's going to be. Your soul is very weak because you've been operating in the flesh for longer than you've been operating in the spirit. But that should not always be the case. You have two wolves. Which wolf is going to be strongest? The one that you feed. And so when you come to Christ, you should be feeding the spirit and starving the flesh. So the flesh becomes the weakest and the spirit becomes the strongest. But yet we have many Christians, many people who are believers of Christ, who claim to believe in God, who claim to be followers of Christ, who still operate out of order. And the thing about, you know this to be true because the thing about your flesh, the thing about your body is it does not have a thought process of itself. It's not like your soul. And because it's not like your soul, it doesn't react on an intellectual level. It reacts on a foundational, natural, basic level. And because of that, it is reactionary. I know this to be a fact because when something bad happens, for example, you stub your toe, what is the first thing you tend to do? Say something negative. Some people who curse. It is a reaction. It is a natural reaction. A natural reaction. And before you knew it, it already came out your mouth and you didn't even have to think about it. You didn't have to process it. It just came. It's a reaction because your flesh, your body is reactionary. And it's also natural. And you're not called to be natural because you are supernatural. You are above the natural ability. Your soul and your spirit should be above what's natural. But you're operating backwards. You're out of order. So all you can do is react and behave natural. Someone calls you a name, it's natural to call them one back. Someone disrespects you, it's natural to disrespect them back. Someone stomps on your toe, it's natural to respond in kind. Your body, your flesh can only react naturally. You see someone that you find attractive, it's natural to stare. It's natural to shoot your shot. Regardless if that person is taken or not. It's natural. But you are not formed naturally. You are formed in the image of God. 3 parts. Stop operating out of order. Feed the spirit, starve the flesh, and your spirit will lead your soul, and your soul will guard your body and guide your body. It's time that we need to stop acting out of order. I hope this blesses someone. Until next time, I'm Minister Crush. Peace.